All right. It is 9/11. Not sure why that's important, but I'm sure there's a reason why I had to say today's 9/11.
Oh yeah.
But emergency pod today, Belligerent fam.
We just felt like we had to get something out.
Yeah, this one wasn't really planned, and we just were like, we got a lot to say, and there's a lot on our minds right now. So we're just gonna keep it. We're just gonna keep it real. We're gonna just jump right into it, and just hopefully, I think the goal with this one is to probably just get like a dialogue going, right? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have an opinion on this.
Yeah, for sure.
So yesterday, Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Thank you for calling it for what it is.
Yeah.
It's been a bit frustrating, people saying
It wasn't a sniper assault.
yeah.
With some of these
I've
headlines.
heard the wildest things, and like my first thing to everybody is usually like just stay off social media.
Yeah.
But yeah, call it what it is. It was an assassination. It was a political assassination.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of people out there who don't really know who Charlie Kirk is. So just to kind of put it like, so he's, I guess, political commentator, I guess, is probably the best way to kind of describe him.
He's a many hats, right?
Yeah.
YouTuber, entrepreneur,
Yeah, he started, what was it, Turning Point?
Turning Point USA. Yeah, he's been all over the country. Like, I'll just be honest, I think most people would say, that knew him, he was probably going to be a presidential candidate, if not in the near future, in, maybe 8 years from now. And he was a big, big, big voice on the right.
Yeah. And one of the things, like, just before we start really getting into it, like, we don't want to come off as like we're leaning a certain way with these kinds of things. What happened with this guy, when we'll get into, is bigger than what side of the spectrum that you're on.
Yeah.
Right? So the one thing about this guy that I really respected is he brought back like the lost art of debate. Right? He was willing to put himself out there in the lion's den, in the public square, and what was his thing? Prove me wrong.
Yeah, he would talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody who wanted to come up, have a conversation. He was open and ready to debate. And
his views, like, did I agree with all his views? Of course not. You're not supposed to, right? Like, that's what dialogue is. But what he did was he went on like university and college campuses.
Yeah.
These things, and we all know they're kind of turning into echo chambers, right?
Yeah, he went to the grassroots.
Yeah.
And, like, that's a whole nother can of worms when you get into, the differences between Gen Z and millennials and boomers.
Yeah. And he put himself out there on these campuses, and, you watch these clips, and it's like he's getting screamed at by these animals.
Yeah.
And he's keeping his calm. He's respectfully having these debates, and that's all he wanted. He just wanted to have dialogue and debates with both sides of the aisle. That was his way of like bringing
people together,
right?
Yeah, like this guy had a huge following that's probably putting it mildly. Like, he was huge. His voice was as big as anyone. He had made an impact on the current administration, like him or not. So he had gotten to a point where
he got Trump,
had a lot to say.
He got Trump elected in the last
go.
election.
That's how much power he had. And I heard snippets of Candace today, and she had mentioned that his goal was to be leading the RNC, and that was one of the things he wanted to do.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the guy was a conservative. There's no disputing that. Yeah. And, his values were really rooted in, like, his faith and like the whole Republican agenda and stuff and whatever. But
And
but
to be honest, he was having a huge impact on Gen Z and
hundred
the
percent,
colleges. Like people were listening, and there was a lot of people that were becoming conservative.
he got a whole bunch of kids out there to vote. They
Yeah.
might not have voted the way he wanted them to vote, but he got them out there though,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And that was like his goal with like Turning Point and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And it's the thing about this entire thing that's really pissing me off is like, what are we doing? Like we're at this point where you don't like what somebody has to say and you don't agree with what their views are, and the only way for you to handle it is by putting a bullet through the guy's neck. You know what I mean? Like it, like who like what was it, the Minnesota senator or whatever it was,
Yeah.
her and her husband got gunned down a few months ago, and the Trump assassination attempt, you had that.
Which we still don't know much about the shooter.
Yeah, we know nothing about that guy.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll get into like the whole shit with the shooter for in regards to this.
Which it's been over 24 hours, and
Yeah,
they've gotten a weapon, and that's about it.
we'll talk about that in a second. I got a lot to say on that one, but it sucks, man, because when you have a platform, doesn't matter who you're gearing this towards. It could be on the right, you can be on the left. You shouldn't be afraid to put your opinions out there. You know what I mean? Because now people are going to be thinking twice, like, oh, if I say this, I'm going to piss somebody off. Now my life's in danger.
I'll just tell you straight up what the biggest problem has become. And, our generation is a big part of this. There's been a huge campaign of, I don't want to say just leftist policy or ideologies, but we grew up in a time, and especially millennials, where you were taught to obey. You were taught to, everybody is right. Watch your ground. Don't say anything. Don't say anything that's going to cause a rift. If someone says you're wrong, you're not. Everybody's feelings. Don't hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah.
Like, we became so soft, and people have become unbelievably soft. Here, listening to an opinion that goes against something you believe or you think or you have been trained or you saw on social media, people react in a violent way. People get defensive. People start yelling and screaming. Honestly, you can see the insane amount of reaction, people celebrating. Like, the amount of, like, it just makes me angry to even like think about that or talk about that. Just the amount of people celebrating. You can tell how up, sorry my language, but how people are in the head that they think that this is okay and this is normal.
Yeah.
And they're celebrating it because he spoke about something that was against their belief or is against whatever they wanted. So their egos were hurt, that the only way they know how to behave is violence or yelling and screaming.
Yeah.
They don't have the capacity. And many millennials and many people in general, boomers included, have been trained as, they've just been trained to lash out. Very few people have their emotions in check, especially in 2025.
Yeah, and if you go back and like watch his videos, like it's the perfect example of what you're talking about right now. He sits there calm, just having a talk, getting his points across, and then whoever it is that he's talking to is like calling him names, swearing, yelling, screaming. Like, you don't get your point across that way.
Yeah,
the second you do that, the other person's gonna stop listening. But this guy listened to everybody.
Exactly.
Right? And it's like,
he was the one guy that gave everybody an opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
Which is insane. And I was mentioning this yesterday just in a conversation with my wife. Just, we talk about civil war. There's always like something that ignites it. We never really see it coming. It just it's something that I never mentioned. I just never thought it was, never thought it was really a possibility. But it's something like this where you have a person who is really, to be honest, kind of trying to bring together both sides, and is kind of like the person that's trying to bring peace. And when that person is targeted or taken off the board, that is exactly what causes, a riot or, ignition of a civil war.
And it's like with what his views were, like, yeah, like he'll have like a certain take and you're like, whoa, like, okay, I kind of get what you're saying, but that's kind of wild, right? But who cares? That's his view. What does it matter to you? How is your life affected with what he says, right? But to take it personally, and it becomes like your I hate to use this word because it's like you throw it into like your manifesto, right? Yeah, like what are we doing? Like, we can't just talk to people anymore. Why are people so worried about hearing something that they don't want to hear? Like, why are we so afraid of uncomfortable conversation, right? If you're stuck in a group, your circle, and you all think the same, how boring is that?
Absolutely.
Dude, come on. Like,
yeah.
How are you okay with going out, sitting there, and the entire conversation is just, yeah.
I'm telling you, because there's just, everybody's so sensitive. Nobody wants their feelings hurt. The minute you speak, the person disagrees with you, they're gonna lash up. That's just the time we live in. You can't open your phone. You actually can't not go online without seeing a meltdown.
Yeah. And it's dumb, man. And Cenk from Young Turks, him and Charlie had a bunch of like debates and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. But they had mutual respect, right? Like, they got it. They got it. Like, look, I understand where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. Let's talk about it. But at the end of the day, let's go have dinner.
Look, like I said, he was the one guy that was bringing everybody together. There's a reason this is headline news and really just.
Yeah. But the one thing, I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier about this today. And then the one thing that I was really afraid of was these unsubstantiated narratives that were going to come out about the shooter. Because now we're going to talk about, like you touched on earlier, like, oh, they found the gun. The casings had engravings on it of like Antifa and transgender stuff. Like, look, come on. Let's talk about the actual thing that just happened. Whoever did this, they're a pro. Highly trained professional.
So I've heard both sides of this. Like
200 yards away, and you pip the guy in the throat. And apparently he got like the exact spot that you're supposed to get. Where, if you've seen the video, you've seen it, but if you haven't, don't.
Yeah, don't watch it if you haven't seen it.
But I've never seen it kind of like spray out like that.
To play a little devil's advocate, from what I've tried to just really completely stay off of the story. Just, it usually takes a few days until you can kind of see between the lines and clear out the noise. There ends up being a lot of false reporting.
Yeah.
I have seen a few. I think they were talking on Timcast. Tim brought this up earlier that, he was told that you can be trained in a couple hours to shoot from 100, 150 yards away.
Okay. Okay.
Like, it is possible.
Yeah.
It's just to play devil's advocate, it could be. But again, this person obviously had this planned. They had their escape plan. Yeah. Right? Like,
And yeah, like the reason why I was like thinking this guy is, or this person, whoever it is like a big time professional, because like this is a high pressure situation. You got thousands of people between you and your target,
and the fact
he's sitting in a tent,
and the fact it took one shot.
Yeah, he
Right?
only shot once.
From 400 feet away, whatever it is, 440 feet, whatever this guy
Yeah.
was, from an elevated spot too,
Yeah.
right? And it just doesn't make sense to me that here's a person, sorry, like we don't know who it is, does the job, gets it done, vanishes into thin air. Nobody sees this person like anywhere, but for some reason they decide to leave the weapon in a towel in a field, right? Like none
Yeah.
of that makes sense. If you're a pro, you're not doing that shit.
This is the problem that we have today, because we have been lied to so much by certain agencies, by the government, by the media, and especially, like, you can understand as information is coming out, some of it may not make sense, but when you add it to the fact that this has always been the story, a lot of the things you mentioned like don't surprise me, because like for instance the Trump shooting, we don't have any information.
Zero.
Whatever we do is very little.
Yeah.
And it's just astonishing. You have all these agencies that this is all they do is to protect America. They spy on us openly.
Yeah.
They have facial recognition everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. And we have so much trouble identifying, locating, and putting a history and an entire story behind these people.
Yeah. Like it's a guy steals a bike from a driveway and he's caught 4 blocks away in like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But on a university campus with thousands of people, this guy's gone.
Again,
And
I was playing devil's advocate, but like, again, the more you talk about it, right, you can kind of see, okay, you can kind of go in both directions, right?
Like,
maybe he was a professional, right? You know what to do, how to escape, how to disguise himself, right?
But that's the climate that we're in now. Like it sucks that this guy's gone and we're being so cynical about the entire thing.
Yeah.
Right? Where we're guilty of it right now. Like we talked about the guy for like 5 minutes, but now we just like deep dived into like what the problem with everything is and how they're gonna screw it up, and we know nothing, and conspiracy theories and whatnot. It took less than a day for these conspiracy theories to start coming up already.
But that's the thing, right? Like, like when you've, like I'll be honest, right? Like I am known as the conspiracy guy, and
No, stop it.
When I'm not even bringing them up, people around me are now bringing it up. It's just what's gone on in the last 5 years, especially after COVID. People just see the lies, and like I don't know how that trust is ever gonna be rebuilt with government agencies. I know there's independent media, and this is such a shock, because a big part of independent media, this is a live execution, live assassin, like in front of the world. This was made public.
The whole world saw this happen in real time.
And that's what they wanted. They wanted to send a message. It makes people scared. It makes you scared to speak your mind. It makes people scared to go outside, right? Like, there's a big part of that. And you hope that, that doesn't happen. Right? It actually opens up more conversation. It brings people together. It brings more dialogue, and I hope it is the positive.
Yeah, and for those of you who've been like listening to us from the beginning, we shit on mainstream media all the time. And yesterday when I was going through my feed and I was getting like the reactions from everyone and stuff, right? I'm like, there's no way that the mainstream medium's gonna like try to spin this in a different direction, and all it took was half an hour.
Yeah, not even.
And it was shared like in our
MSNBC was all over that.
I was like, you've got to be kidding me! You guys couldn't, you just couldn't help themselves, right? And this is why like all these guys who leave these outlets, like. When you go check out Cuomo on his, what's it called, News Nation, he started
News
now,
Nation,
right? He had a beautiful monologue yesterday about this entire thing. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure if he was still on CNN, they probably would have been like, hey, buddy,
Yeah.
not maybe go that direction.
Yeah, they wouldn't have
Right?
allowed him to say that.
Van Jones is another guy that I don't even know why this guy's on TV, man.
How anybody actually speaks to this person after, like, what the way he behaves and the things he says,
Yeah.
how people still watch him is mind blowing to me. I understand that it's mostly boomers and mostly people over 60. I get it. But like this person, like this guy should not be on TV.
Like yesterday, I was listening to like what he had to say, and it was just like it started off right. I was like, okay, you know, he's doing all right, and then it just took one thing, and just like he just spun it around, and I'm like, all right, you lost me, man. I don't even know why I gave this clip a
You have
chance.
to say what it is. These people are literally demons. Like, I'm sorry. You know, we talk about like religion has obviously, you know, kind of gone away, especially in the West. It's not a big part of what people grow up with anymore. And
Except for if you're conservative,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. And that's the fear.
Yeah.
And that's the fear. And that has, again, like, I'm not trying to pick sides here, but you can find videos online. Everybody knows this. These are not, again, we can say it started in 2016, but this has been going on for a long time. That Democratic, you know, leftist, like, it's just become so extreme. Leftists, they push violence. I'm telling you, they don't know how to behave. They are very sensitive. They're trigger happy. And it's just an entire generation of people that we have created through the media, through just our social constitutions, education, whatever it may be. Like, we've just created an entire generation of people that this is their normal. They think it's okay.
Yeah. What's the phrase? They drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Exactly.
They drank the Kool-Aid, you know, Jonestown, sorry, whatever. I thought the whole thing. And it's you're in so deep now that your thought process is so fogged that you refuse to even give the other side a try. Right? Like,
They're even unable to listen.
yeah.
Right? Like, this is the whole problem, right? That we have. Like, you can't sit down and debate or listen.
Yeah.
Because when the minute they hear something they disagree with, they have a meltdown.
I mean, this goes for both sides. We're not just saying it's
For
just
sure,
the one side. Yeah,
yeah.
it's everyone, like, it's guilty on both sides. I think we try to do a good job of looking at it from both sides, but when one keeps doing the dumb stuff, that
like,
one's gonna
again,
keep getting called out.
There's a reason
Right.
all these people that were leftists or on the left that have transitioned to the middle or gone to the right.
Yes.
Right? Like,
yes.
the evidence is right in front of us. We can.
Yeah.
There's a reason Charlie Kirk would go on and have all of these debates because people just didn't have answers.
Yeah.
They couldn't debate him. And you don't have to agree with him, but that pissed people off.
Yeah.
And that's just like, it's so unfortunate. We live in a time where just people are not emotionally stable enough to just have a life. And a big part of that is social media. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just unfortunate. I always say, I've said it a million times on our podcast, stay off social media. I don't have my kids on social media. I make sure that, as they grow up, that's not part of their life.
Yeah. It's a
Protect your
double-edged.
kids,
It's like
protect
a
the people you
double-edged
can.
sword. Social media, though, like especially like with Twitter, Twitter is the best and the worst of everything.
No,
Right?
I totally
You know what I mean?
agree, but the
Yeah,
problem is not everybody can handle it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I would say the majority, again, if you have been raised where you cannot just emotionally have a conversation or emotionally exist without losing control of your emotions, social media is not for you. Like,
Yeah.
that's,
Or you're the ones that are like, they're the ones that have the handles of like, Freedom Eagle
Yeah,
4533,
exactly,
and then
right,
they're gonna say whatever the hell they want. No one's gonna use their real face or real name on X,
Yeah.
except for me. But but whatever. But yeah, man, like this thing sucks. Like since yesterday, it's
I still don't believe it.
Yeah.
I still don't believe it. You know, just it's crazy. I was just listening to him just on Monday,
yeah,
and just when it happened, like I didn't even, I didn't even tell anyone. Like I just couldn't say anything. Like I knew it happened. I didn't share it. I just couldn't believe it. All I could think of was, I hope he's okay.
yeah.
That's all you hope for.
And it was just like a few weeks ago. Like he was just making fun of himself because he was on South Park. Like South Park parodied him,
and
right?
you
He's
know
like,
what? I have to say this. It's like I understand what they're trying to do. They took down the episode, but he took it as a compliment.
Yeah.
He grew up with South Park. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think you should have taken it down. Like I get it, just
yeah.
why you wanted to.
Didn't he say he's like, oh, I finally made it?
Yeah,
'Cause now that-
he
yeah.
loved it. He
Yeah.
totally owned it. He changed his picture, right?
He changed his display pic. Yeah, yeah.
So he was all for it, and he was like, "Yeah, I made it." So
Yeah, like South Park shouldn't have taken the episode down, even though they've become like a little cucky over the last few years. But they shouldn't have done
you
it.
didn't need to take that down,
Yeah.
right?
But then you know what it is? They probably wanted to get ahead of it before they started getting screamed at by people. Like
That's
why-
what I mean. Like
yeah,
I see both sides of it. I thought it was okay if you didn't take it down, and I think most people should see it that way because the person you made fun of respected it.
yeah. It reminds me of the remember the Simpsons episode where they had to go to New York for Homer to get his car back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then look, the whole like they had the two
twin
towers and everything and
yeah.
whatnot. And then 9/11 happened and
And then
they pulled the
they
episode.
pulled it,
It never wasn't on TV again.
Yeah,
But it's like, but why though?
exactly.
Right? Like I get it. Like, people are highly sensitive and it's
But this is
whatever.
what you
But
create, right? Like
yeah.
you can't do that. This is how you create people that if you just keep catering to the sensitivity, you're not creating strong
Yeah.
individuals.
Can you imagine like Saving Private Ryan now? Like if they tried to make it. Like let's say Saving Private Ryan wasn't a thing.
That was a hard watch even for me.
Right? And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make this movie." And people are like, "Nah, it's okay. We're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be too much for people. We never would have gotten it."
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think they'd ever make that now.
Yeah, great movie though.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've watched it a couple times and it's a hard watch for me, but yeah, excellent film.
Great movie. Tom Hanks, man. But I have to kind of ask you this, and I really don't want to, because the more I've been reading about it today, and I just saw a little post that they said Cash and Bongino were on their way to Utah to help out with the manhunt or whatever, and Bongino's like, just coming through. I'm like, okay. Like the first thing that went through my head when I read that, I was like, I can't trust you guys. You fumbled Epstein so hard,
And continue to.
and you still continue to fumble
make
it.
a fool of yourself.
And I guess, and now I'm supposed to trust you to handle this.
I think clearly Cash is way over his head. Didn't he tweet yesterday that they caught someone?
They said they had somebody in custody, but he didn't.
And they had
yeah.
nothing to do with it. They
Yeah.
let him go. So why are you like? I don't understand why you even had to tell that. Like, why did you have to?
There was
tweet
no
that and
reason
say
for
that
it. Yeah.
information, right? Like, you don't have the person. There's nothing to say there. Like, this. I've said it before. He got the up position. I'll say it now. Like, he is way over his head. Again, I obviously don't expect much from these people and these agencies. But yeah, they just continue to fumble it so bad.
Yeah, and it sucks to say that, because like you want to see your result.
Yeah.
You want to see justice,
Yeah.
right? I don't care who you are. You don't want to see this shit happen,
Yeah.
right? And then whoever's responsible for it, you want to see them get taken down.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is and you hope this is why you have your agencies. This
Yeah.
is why you have the CIA or the FBI. Like, this is, you want them to capture this person.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
You want them to bring them to justice.
so frustrating, man. It's like, it's hilarious to me that down there they have the authority saying, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, but they do nothing, and then the authorities up here are like, we really can't do anything.
It's total
So
opposite.
so it's just
Yeah.
it's just gonna be whatever.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole
topic.
other episode. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get into the
Yeah, we
friggin'
should
thing that's
definitely-
happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we should definitely do an episode of the Canadian justice system.
yeah,
and
like up here, it's
the way where we are in 2025 in Canada, and just in our local communities. But you're seeing this everywhere. I just think this is a big symptom of what's happened in the last 30 years of, like, I don't want to say it's just manipulation, but it's been trained and engraved into us through different educational systems, the media, TV, just we've become very weak.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and we're easily influenced. 24 hours we're getting influenced by people online, something we watch on TV. We're so plugged in all the time. We're so easily influenced.
yeah,
So you get someone, for instance, like a Charlie Kirk, or you get someone like, Candace Owens, or, whoever you want to say on the left, you get loud enough, you can convince a lot of people.
yeah,
Right. And that gets threatening to people who,
yeah.
may want to push people in another direction.
Yeah, like you didn't even have to like follow the guy to know who he was. Like I was talking when I mentioned it to my wife yesterday. I'm like, oh, did you hear this? What happened to Charlie Kirk? And then she's like, oh, that sounds familiar. Oh, is that the tent guy that talks to people? I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
the tent guy that talks to
Exactly,
people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then she was saying today that these things happen, and they probably happen for a reason, to be the catalyst for something, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, you might be onto something. Like maybe this was his purpose,
Yeah.
right? Like he got the eyes on politics.
And I think
He
Trump
got-
said that he's
yeah.
become a martyr, right?
He's been martyred for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he brought the lost art of debate back. So I think people are more privy to like, okay, we can have discussion, we can have
Yeah.
dialogue. But it could go two ways. Like this could be one of those things where it's like, all right, maybe let's kind of get closer to the aisle and have discussion.
Yeah.
Or it's just gonna go completely off the rail and be like, all right, y'all are crazy. We can't take it anymore, and we're gonna go nuts on our side too. I don't know which
Yeah,
way it's gonna
I
go.
don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know which way it's gonna go. Like, part of me, the pessimistic side of me, is always thinking, things are so easily forgotten and we move on so quickly. And I think in the space that Charlie Kirk was in, this is gonna have a bigger impact, just because the landscape has changed so much.
Yeah.
With media and YouTube and influencers. This affects anybody who speaks their mind online.
Yeah.
We're sitting here offering an opinion, having a conversation. Like, it affects us. It affects anybody who wants to talk politics, talk about anything, to be honest. Like,
Even sports.
yeah.
You can't even talk about sports and have a different opinion on a guy unless you want to start World War III.
Yeah.
Forget about talking about LeBron in front of an old head. He's gonna lose his mind and start blowing up. Even with music, forget about talking about new music with old guys. Forget it. You're
Yeah.
gonna start a war,
Yeah.
right? Like, why are people so hypersensitive? It
Yeah.
pisses me off. Everybody needs to chill out, relax,
Yeah.
man. Take it easy, step back.
That should be a huge message just to everybody. Like, everybody just, like, that I hope, like I was saying, like, there's a pessimistic side to it, but then, the other side of it, the other flip side is, you hope this is a wake up call, just to the nation of, there's America, there's, we're greatly influenced by America, just the West in general. It's a huge wake up call, because the last 10 years have been tough.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the last 10 years because, I don't know, Trump ran for office. He somehow won, and it really flipped the switch in a lot of people's brains.
Yep.
And I don't know. As ever since then, it's been, I swear, it's been civil war. it has been civil war.
Yeah.
We're just used to calling a civil war, thinking that there's just violence on the streets, but it is a civil war back and forth. Nobody can agree. Nobody can get along. The one guy that was trying to get people along gets killed.
Yeah. And it was actually interesting when I was going through the reactions. I was looking at it from like, because I follow people from both sides, right? And the reaction from the independent ones, not from mainstream, it was pretty much universal.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody was saying the same thing. The reaction was the same, and everybody had the same anger.
Yeah.
About the entire thing, right? And it's just like, it's a shame that it takes something like this for people to kind of pump the brakes and be like, all right,
like whoa,
whoa,
yeah.
like this is crazy, this is wild, right? And I think I was listening to I was listening to Cenk like last night, and he said exactly what you were just saying. He's like, are we at the point now where it's like I'm gonna be afraid to leave my house because of something I said? Yeah. Right? Like somebody has a big enough platform and they're like, oh, XYZ, and then it's gonna be somebody out there be like, hey man, no, screw you, XYZ, right? I'm gonna find you.
This is why, but like to that exact point, we talk about conspiracies. This is why people in the past were so quiet, and people would often come up to me and be like, no, that's impossible. How could they hide this? How could they hide whatever? Let's say JFK or, another CI, MK Ultra, whatever. Things that we now know for a fact happened.
Yeah.
But at that time, 20, 30 years ago, people would come up to me and be like, no, there's no way. Someone would speak. The janitor would talk. Someone working there would find out. There was thousands of people working there.
Yeah.
People just don't understand the levels of secrecy. The people that are in the know are very few. And when you're blackmailed, when your life is on the line, people have families, people have kids. Nobody's talking. Nobody's going to talk. Now we live in a time where people, for a living, speak. They speak online. Everyone has a platform. Everybody can turn on their phone, start live streaming on YouTube. So everybody's got the opportunity to do it. So obviously times have changed. And now that everybody has that opportunity to talk, this is how they shut you up.
Yeah. And somebody had pulled up an old clip of him where somebody had walked up to him and be like, what are you doing? Right? And he's like, oh, I'm here to have challenging conversation.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, why? Right?
Yeah.
He's like, well, we have to, right? And then he said something in that clip that was so profound. He's like, silence will lead to violence. Damn. The second you stop talking and the second you shut up, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
People don't be quiet. If you have something to say, an opinion, just say it. What are you afraid of?
Right? Yeah, understand what.
Yeah.
I think people need to understand what you're saying. Like, I don't think a lot of people do, how important it is not to be silent.
Yeah, I don't mean, go online and start threatening and like doing shit like that. I mean, like if you feel strongly about something,
yeah,
right, and you need like, even, I'm not saying go online and post it, but even when you're just having general conversation with anybody, right, don't hold back. The second you hold, the second you hold back,
start a dialogue, have conversation.
Yeah.
The only way you're gonna get to maybe a middle ground or an understanding is if you talk it through.
Absolutely, man. This is stupid. This is really stupid. I can't believe where we're at right now.
I can't believe we just saw literally, you call it JFK of our time, like a political assassination on live TV. This was filmed live around, like, we just saw it happen, and I still cannot believe it happened.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. My gut's telling me this is gonna get a lot worse before it gets a lot better. I don't know. People, let's have a dialogue. Let's talk about it. Comments. Let us know. What do you think? Where is this headed?
One thing I want to say quickly before we jump off here, libs of TikTok everybody knows that account, or libs of, is it TikTok?
Libs of TikTok.
Right?
Yeah.
On Twitter, just a quick shout out. Like, if we didn't have accounts like that calling people out, the demons, the nasty, nasty people that exist that were celebrating, there are accounts that are putting these people on blast. I saw tons of them getting, losing their jobs, getting kicked out, whatever. Like, their faces should be known, because you do not, like, I would want to know if I was hanging out with someone who had those opinions and celebrated death.
Yeah, that's
And
gross, man.
it, like, if it wasn't for these accounts, like, we would never find out.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter if you agreed with the guy or not. You don't want to celebrate something like this.
It's just disgusting, and that's the stuff I stay away from.
Yeah,
And I'm just glad there's accounts out there that actually.
there's actually a
call them to-
website.
Oh yeah.
There's actually a website now that's pulling all of that. I think it's called like Charlie's Murderers or something,
Oh yeah.
right? And then they're pulling. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the UFT professor here, who had the post right away, and then she got absolutely blasted, and I
Yeah.
guess the UFT got rid of her or something. I don't know what it is, but anyway, gross. Be better, people. Be better.
Honestly, have some humanity.
Yeah.
Like, people just somewhere along the lines, it was trained out of us or something.
Yeah. Let's bring humanity back to humanity,
Yeah.
please. Right? Like, come on. Like, we talk a lot of shit on the pod, right? But at the end of the day, it's like we get it. We're not standing on like our views or whatever. Like, this is the end all be all of it.
We're
Right?
not,
Like, come on.
we're all trying to, like, I just don't understand, like, we're all trying to live, a moral. I don't think morality even exists anymore. When I say, we're trying to live a moral life, I don't think most people understand what that is anymore. But like, we're wrong. We have opinions. We don't think all of our opinions are right. Like, we may feel about something today, we may change our opinion next week. We just enjoy
100%.
we enjoy conversation. I think most people enjoy having a conversation, and you want to surround yourselves with people who want to have conversations.
I'm gonna throw something out there to everybody who's listening or watching. I'm pretty sure there's somebody in your life that when you hear them talk, you don't want to talk to them because you don't agree with a lot of what they're saying.
Yeah.
Go have a conversation with them this week. Right? Just get their opinion on everything, and you give yours, and see how much you actually have in common.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
That's gonna be great, and it's healthy.
Yeah.
You need to have these talks. You need to keep these people around, because, I mean, unless they're telling you to your face that you're like I would like to want to rip your eyeballs out or something. But anyway, it's healthy, man. Have dialogue, have discussion. Be okay with disagreeing with somebody. Disagreeing is not hate.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Exactly, it's not. And yeah, let's just hope. I honestly just hope this is, the last time we see something like this.
Yeah. Cash, Bongino. Prove me wrong, man.
Yeah, get this guy.
Yeah, get him. This is ridiculous. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Anyways, emergency pod. Thanks for listening.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
His voice will be missed.
Yeah. Rip Charlie. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.